Nestled in a historic college campus in New England, there stands a building with an infamous reputation. This dormitory, built in the 1800s, has witnessed generations of students pass through its halls. Yet one room, room 107, remains notorious. Despite the many renovations over the decades, this room is still whispered about as the epicenter of unexplained occurrences. The legend of room 107 began with a tragedy in 1973 when a student, Andrew Whitman, was found dead under mysterious circumstances. His death was ruled as natural causes due to a heart condition, but there were unsettling details that didn't add up. His roommates spoke of Andrew's recent obsession with the paranormal. He had reportedly spent weeks experimenting with a Ouija board, trying to contact spirits. The other students who shared the suite recalled waking up to the sound of faint whispers in the dead of night, along with cold spots that seemed to follow them around the room. Shortly before his death, Andrew confided in a close friend that he felt something was watching him. The night before he died, he mentioned hearing a voice repeating the phrase, "Get out," growing louder and more insistent each time. After his death, no one wanted to stay in the room for long. Students who were assigned to room 107 began reporting strange phenomena, lights flickering, items being moved, and unexplained scratching noises in the walls. Some even claimed to wake up in the middle of the night to find their bed covers slowly being pulled off. On more than one occasion, residents would see a shadowy figure standing at the foot of their bed, dissolving into thin air when they tried to confront it. In the early 2000s, a group of students, intrigued by the dark history, decided to conduct a paranormal investigation of room 107. They brought along cameras, audio recorders, and even a thermal imaging camera. As they set up, they noticed an immediate drop in temperature around the room, and one of the cameras captured a brief but distinct shape in the corner, a human silhouette that seemed to dissipate as quickly as it appeared. The investigators tried communicating with the supposed spirit using an EVP electronic voice phenomenon session. They asked basic questions. Who are you? And why are you here? At first, there was nothing but static. But then, after one question, did you die here? A deep, distorted voice came through the recorder. Moments later, one of the team members began to experience a tightness in their chest and felt as though invisible hands were closing around their throat. The group quickly left, abandoning the investigation. When they reviewed the footage, they found several instances of audio anomalies, including faint cries for help and a sound resembling heavy breathing. But it was the final recording that unnerved them the most. As they were leaving, a voice distinctly said, "You will not escape." The audio was analyzed by a local sound engineer who verified that it had no signs of digital manipulation. The college administration eventually sealed off room 107, officially citing maintenance issues, though students believe the truth lies in the room's dark history. Stories of strange occurrences persist, with some claiming to still hear whispers emanating from behind the closed door. Room 107's legend lives on as one of the most chilling and enduring tales on campus. In the remote villages of northern New Mexico, the tale of La Hora, or the Bad Hour, has been passed down for generations. Described as malevolent spirit or entity, it is said to appear on lonely roads at night, particularly in times of despair or unrest. Unlike a typical ghost, La Hora has no fixed form, often appearing as a shapeless black mist that seems to suck the light out of the air, or as a female figure shrouded in a dark cloak with a face that changes shape and expression, often twisting into grotesque forms. The story of La Hora gained notoriety in the 1960s after a series of unexplained disappearances in the area. The most famous account is that of a man named Miguel Ramirez, who was driving home late one night from a neighboring town. He had taken this route countless times, but on this occasion, he felt an uneasy sensation as he approached a stretch of road known for its desolate landscape. It was a clear night, but as he reached a bend, he saw a dark figure standing by the roadside. At first, he thought it was someone in need of help. Slowing down, he noticed that the figure was shrouded in black and appeared to be swaying back and forth. As he got closer, the figure seemed to dissolve into a black mist that began to envelop his car. Instantly, the air inside turned freezing cold and his windshield fogged up with frost. Suddenly, Miguel felt an overwhelming sense of dread and heard what sounded like distant whispers in an unrecognizable language. As he struggled to maintain control of the car, he saw the outline of a face forming in the mist, a face that was constantly shifting, its features stretching and contorting into a horrid grin. Just as quickly as it began, the mist dissipated, leaving Miguel shaking and soaked in sweat. He arrived home in a state of shock, unable to articulate what had happened. For days afterward, he experienced vivid nightmares where he would wake up to find the same dark figure standing at the foot of his bed, whispering in a language he couldn't understand. His family noticed a drastic change in his behavior, and he became increasingly paranoid, refusing to drive at night ever again. Stories like Miguel's are not uncommon. Those who claim to have encountered La Mala Hora often report a series of misfortunes following the sighting, such as accidents, sudden illnesses, or inexplicable deaths among loved ones. In some versions of the legend, La Mala Hora is not just a malevolent spirit, but a harbinger of doom, appearing before tragedies strike. It is said that seeing the figure is an omen that something terrible is about to happen. Local villagers maintain that the only way to avoid La Mala Hora is to refuse to acknowledge it. Stopping for it or attempting to communicate invites its wrath. Those who ignore these warnings risk not just their own lives, but the safety of those around them. Despite the skepticism of outsiders, stories of La Mala Hora's appearances continue to be shared in hushed tones, keeping the legend alive as a warning to those who travel the desolate roads of New Mexico.